karma, communication, surrender, God, all of that stuff. So the last talk that we did was God as a missing element in yoga practice and how that would be very beneficial to include God in yoga. We talked about the principle of Ishvara Pranidhana, which is surrender to a higher power, surrender to God. And it's very similar. I mean, I'm on the same tech, the same ideas right now. Peace in your heart and inside emotionally has been a ever present practice throughout my day. Like, that's what it is. Avoiding communication, it means how can you communicate without disturbing yourself? How can I tell you my boundaries, when something is off, how to do it right? It's not about me going through all kinds of gymnastics and jumping through hoops to protect another person's feelings. Who's that guy, Elo? You can't have a guy on. That's the ladies' link. He can go to the guys' link. I don't want a guy watching the girls.
Sorry, he just walked in. He's going.
Okay. You could listen in the background if he wants, but it can't be behind the screen looking at the girls. That's why it's a girls' link, so that they can turn their camera on. So, and the ninth limb of yoga is the yoga of communication. So, in this process and understanding how much emotions are really agitating you, a lot of people, and when I say a lot of people, let me just go ahead and say 100%. With the exception of my teacher, and then the guys that are learning the process from him, myself included, as I get better and better at it. And I don't think even my teacher, because he is on a process also. So outside of him, me, and the inner circle of guys that are training as guys, everybody, 100% of human beings, men and women, are in denial about how they're feeling. They do not know how to say how they're feeling. And there are some people like in the nonviolent communication of Marshall Rosenberg and maybe different. Now, that's, of course, when I say 100%, that's just people I've met. And I've met a lot of people, talked to a lot of people, okay? But that's by no means like the whole population of humanity. So I'm saying that just as an assertion that 100% of the people I've interacted with, talked with, and I actively talk with people about this, they don't know how to name how they're feeling. They don't know how to be accurate. Why is everything frozen here? Is my laptop frozen? It is. Oh, my laptop froze. Is that the screen that froze? Or is it just the laptop? If you can still hear me through the laptop, then DM Cat. Because right now the screen... I just replaced this screen, so if I got to take it back to... It was like a week ago. But I don't know if that's the case of what's happening here. It might be sometimes this thing like is on a button. So hold on one second. Well, that's unfortunate. Why don't you join the woman's link and tell me if you could see it?
Okay, good call.
Okay, we'll keep going for a second. What's up, Authentic? Check tech for a second.
Check tech.
And what's my screen look like?
I see them. You're not there.
I'm not there?
No.
Oh, your device ran into a problem and needs to restart.
So, yeah.
Okay, let me use your phone. Alright, so we're back. So you guys should probably hear me there, right? Okay. Okay, so 100% of people don't know how to name their feelings, identify when they're feeling feelings, and especially when they're disturbed or agitated. They act out those feelings, and it starts as a little seed. The big oak tree starts as a tiny little seed. The big mustard tree or whatever starts as a tiny little mustard seed. So it starts with just little agitations inside, small perturbations, just little discomforts. And the legitimacy of something outside of you creating disturbance inside of you is zero. It's no. There's no reason why something outside of you would disturb you on the inside other than you've lost faith, you've lost perspective of perfection, and you had become egotistical, that you and your expectations, your personal individual expectations, are so important that you're going to have to throw a fit about it, some emotions. Now, that's not to say that you're never going to feel emotions. You just don't want to act out emotions. You're becoming more perfect. Okay, just because you hear about it doesn't mean that you flip all of a sudden and you're now perfect. You'll encounter all kinds of situations, different new situations, unexpected situations that'll make you realize that you were holding egotistical expectations about things. You had a plan. Emotions come when your plan falls through. How you wanted it to happen isn't happening that way. And let's say, okay, so we know that some things are out of your control, some things are in your control. Okay, so let's say I'm late. I'm late for something. Okay, so my appointment was set to end at 1. Then it was announced to be 1:30. Then it went long until 12:57 or 1:57 or something. I had a bunch of stuff to do. I wanted to walk home. I knew that it would create a lot of problems for me to be late. So I cut my own movement. I wanted to do my push-ups, my calisthenics before doing this talk, before eating, before any interactions. I didn't do that because I knew that there would be a problem if I did, and that would further delay my eating, my lecture, and everything. Isn't it?
It's super messed up. That's what you're saying.
It would be a problem with everybody. It would be a problem with everybody, except certain guys.
But I think that you being able to do that, why would it be a problem?
I don't know. Why would it be a problem?
Why would it?
Why would it?
I don't know. Why would it? Because I would think it would hopefully wouldn't.
You would think it hopefully wouldn't. I don't know what that sentence means. It points nowhere. So what do you mean?
Well, like I'm saying, if you would say like, oh, I want to do my push-ups right now, like why would that be a problem before you ate?
Because then I wouldn't eat. Did you see how short time I had?
So it would be a problem for you, or like with that, there would be a timing problem, or why exactly?
If I had walked home, I would have delayed the meeting.
Oh.
People would have had a problem. If I had walked home, you would not have seen me at 2. You would have had a problem.
Well, I think I would. I guess maybe.
100% of times, and it's happened more than 10 times, more than 20 times. 100% of the times that I am more than 3, 4, 5 minutes late, it's been a problem.
Okay, but I'm asking you for today. You know, like just.
What are you asking exactly?
Like, so I'm understanding now what you're saying. The walk and the push-ups would have been made. Even the talk late and.
Everyone involved except me would have had a problem. Except some guys.
And so that's where you find the surrender.
No.
Or,
No. I found surrender that my schedule got delayed from 1 to 1:30 to 1:57. The surrender that to make the right choice right now, I'm going to sacrifice my push-ups, sacrifice my breathing in exchange for more peace, and then surrendering that, well, I don't want to. Well, dude, either make the decision or don't.
Wow. That's dope.
It's dope, except I made the decision to cut my own practice because the girls around me would have a problem. Maybe less, maybe more, but every girl would have had a problem. Maybe Ella wouldn't have had a problem. I don't know. And by problem, I mean would have felt feelings about it that you wouldn't have known how to deal with it.
Oh, feelings.
You, because you're so close, privileged to be so close, so consistently, I would have felt your inability to handle your emotions because we were about to interact with each other. You're not the only girl that doesn't know how to handle her feelings. Doesn't know how to handle her feelings, doesn't know how to handle her feelings. I cut my practice as the right movement, and I surrendered to that's the right thing to do, so I didn't have feelings about it. But I'm telling you that I did that, and I don't want to do that anymore. The other bitches waited out front from 1:30 till 1:57 when my teacher was done and he walked out. Their time was at 1:30.
here every single day having lecture and stuff, so I get it.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Well,
Your emotions right now is a
like,
problem.
why-
What you
why
just
are
said
you
was a
comparing
problem.
that?
What you just said was a problem. What you just said was a problem. And the emotions that you felt that caused that problem to come out and not knowing how to handle that is a problem.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Okay? So for all the times that you would bring up the other girls as any example, I bring up the girl as an example and you
Okay,
won't accept it.
I have a question
Yeah.
here right now. How I would say that we've hung out maybe a million times and
That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong.
Okay, fine.
It's not.
Let's say 1,000.
How about let's not round. Let's say 3 times a week, every week.
Okay, whatever that
At
is.
least that's not counting, little interactions. That's like a time that we hang out.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, it was twice a week. Then it started being this third time,
But I'm
sometime.
Okay.
Lately, it's been
Why
3
is
times a
this
week.
turning into a fight? I'm not sure what's
Because
going
you're
on
fighting.
here. Why am I?
Because you're fighting. That's why. Because you are fighting.
Okay.
So now submit or get out.
What do you? How do you?
Submit or get out. Quit arguing.
Okay.
Now continue.
Like I would say that, like I'm not sure what your point is on this. If
So then why are you interrupting?
yeah.
Either ask a question or don't interrupt.
Okay, I won't interrupt.
100% of people don't know how to handle their emotions. They lose their peace because they can't communicate. They don't understand that they're losing their peace in the process. They keep going along with something. They let a molehill become a mountain inside. And then they do regrettable actions and say regrettable things. That's karma. That's because you lost peace. It's because you lost sight of God. And you don't know how to communicate. Hence, I titled these videos, #karma, #peace, #God, #communication. Ninth limb of yoga. If I have any job with the women in my life, it's to evolve you to a place. Now, I can't evolve you. It's to guide you, hold your hand, lead you, show you, understanding I can't do it for you, so if you can't keep up, then you gotta go. It's to show you how to have peace, communicate when you're losing your peace, the process to maintain your peace, and communication skills, whatever, those tags. So instead of today being the test where I walk home, you're going to be late, you're going to be on my time, and then dealing with the repercussions of that, I cut my own practice, surrendered to it so the schedule was on, and now I'm teaching you. So you're going to get it, or you're not going to get it, but I've done my job. I'm canceling the yoga program. You can sell it on the platforms, of course. You can resell all my old videos. I don't have time. I'm falling behind every day on my work. Money is not up, and that's fine. I'm not chasing money, but it's a struggle to pay for things. Meanwhile, I'm teaching things that over and over that you either have gotten it or you haven't. There's plenty of recordings for you to get it. If you don't want to learn from recordings, then fine. You don't have to learn my yoga to be with me. You don't have to learn my yoga to show up to my talks.
The recordings are perfect.
Thank you.
We're making the app. The app is almost ready actually too. So
Cool, cool. So people, they're not aware of agitation. The mistake would be, well, I just got firm, I just raised my voice, or a certain text that I sent you earlier, I was losing agitation, or I was losing peace. Possibly, it was the beginning of like, when you're snowboarding or whatever, and you're about to go over the hill, and it's like, oh fuck, and it's like, you start sliding, but then you stop. Shut the fuck up, quit replying to me like that, or be done. Well, you've lost your peace. Actually, I just used the words to get you to stop. I didn't lose my peace. You think because you can only communicate how you feel, like not communicating like in words that people understand how you feel, but just you feel something and then you blurt it out. Like Hannah, you'll be here and I'm saying you're talking like a demon. Control your emotions. You're not a blowhorn where it's like somebody presses and it just yells out. I want a woman to be affectionate, to be sensual, to be it's not have emotions, but it's like be sensitive. Yes. But that's nothing more than manipulative. You might not realize it. You'd be like, well, I'm not trying to manipulate you. Well, that's the thing. You're not conscious enough. You're not aware enough. Now come up in awareness, I'm telling you. You can't just blurt it out like that. Well, Yogi, or Chris, however you call me, you do that. Fine. Don't be with me. I'll evolve as I evolve. I'm farther ahead of you, and I have a lot of people looking at me to make me better, and if I fall short, everybody would want my position. Every guy in IMC Nation would want my position. Now, the curse is that they would hate that when they get it. They don't know how to do what I do, and the process of learning it, they'd pull all their hair out if they had any left. And the truth is they couldn't keep up anyway, even if they had all of if someone wrote down or they could somehow be taught exactly all the steps to do everything I do, show up and set up the live like this, count the money like this, message the person like this, here's a script, if I had a message, they couldn't do it. I said to you the other night, I messaged just 20 people, 30 people. You couldn't do it, I couldn't do it. You know how insane you go talking to 30 models? They don't reply enough, they have weird passive communication.
But I'm also...
You know how you have to go 5 days before you reply because I don't want to deal with that bitch? That inability to do what I do.
Yeah.
Push it down to 4 days, 3 days, 2 days, still too long, 1 day. You're not going to survive what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Actually, go ahead.
No, you're just blowing my mind because it's so true. It takes a lot of energy to do it like day after day after day. Like I look forward to when I'm done, and then there's a little break, then I start again.
Yes.
So
except then you might wait 5 days to reply, or 2 weeks to reply to somebody.
Yeah.
The last time I did that was never. Never. Now, 2 days, 3 days, yes. When I first started out, yes. And it was unsuccessful, and I was corrected, and so I took the correction. That's why people can't do what I do. The number 2 guy in IMC Nation still can't do that. He still waits too long to get back to guys.
Dang.
Beta. Why? Because you're too emotional? Because you can't handle your emotions? Because you're... So, listen, if you get into sales, you're going to deal with a lot of no's. You have not heard no. I don't care how terrible your parents were or whatever. Whoever was telling you no. You have not heard no as many times as I've heard no in a day. To genuine goodness. This is going to save your life. You're ruining your life because you don't know how to communicate, and you're just messing up left and right. You're creating so many future frustrations for yourself because you don't know how to communicate now. Here's how to communicate. You don't want this? You don't want to reply? So many no's. From the most retarded, they're retarded. They're so brainwashed, idiotic, and weak. This computer is still at 0%. I don't know what's going on with that. I'll deal with that after this. So we're just going to go for another 5 minutes or so. I don't even know how time flew that fast. What?
So like in these moments where you notice your own, like within yourself, you notice your own schedule like shifting and you're realizing that, it's like a domino effect of all the other kind of things and...
That my commitment to holding a schedule with you somehow... Go ahead.
It has nothing to do with me. I'm trying to figure this question out for when
I'm not blaming you, but you're the only person I have a schedule with. Don't you get that? It's my teacher and you. No one else do I have a schedule with. Lecture, but how many times have I canceled lecture, push it off, whatever?
I'm talking about your own personal stuff, your TM, your self.
Your argument right now is about to get you removed. I don't want that. Don't look at me like that. Don't scowl at me. Don't raise your voice to me, or get the fuck out. That goes for any of you. Don't ever scowl at me as a woman or get the fuck out of my life. Go find a bitch to have a relationship with. If you can't prevent yourself from scowling, take a break. Your tonality will give it away. You can't hide. You could wear a mask. You could use a voice changer. I'll hear it in your syntax. You could, because you'll try to text me. I can still hear it. I know when you're being unloving.
Yes, but all my question was about your own personal process.
Yes, I was not blaming you. You took it personal because of ego. I said you're the only person I have a schedule with, Except now, the girls when they visit, they have a schedule. If they move here, they'll have a schedule. It'll be much less than what Kat has because Kat's done much more, and I don't have time. Every girl gets offended. Actually, Hannah doesn't get offended when I'm late. I was hella late for her the other day. 10 minutes late. Then I'm on the phone with you. 10 more minutes late. Said nothing about it. I didn't detect any negativity about it. Now, she's also, it's easier to be less emotional about it when you have less commitment. She's here visiting. It's I forget the phrasing, but, it's like spontaneous almost. That's not the word, but, it's very low commitment.
I think I could see that in her. I could see she's just easygoing.
Maybe that's it. So take the strengths of each other. Learn. You say, I don't have a community or whatever. She has strengths. You have strengths. Everybody's got weaknesses. They're not the same. Learn. That's why the guys are evolving so fast. It's not just because AZD is teaching things. It's because we can see out of 10 guys, one guy got offended. Or we can see out of 10 guys, one guy hella brightened up. Everybody else was lost. Why did that one guy get it? Half the guys get it, half the guys don't. Like the other day when 10 guys in a room or 12 guys, literally 50-50, half the guys said, I hate women. I hate my mother. They said that. They admitted it with sincerity. I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe they said that. I don't feel that way. They felt that way. I had no idea that for years I was living with some of these guys, training with some of these guys, going out and getting girls with some of these guys, and they hate their mother and they hate women. They have changed, at least most of them, maybe one or two hasn't. I saw the change happen. I saw the demon exercised. I saw how uncomfortable that was. It was uncomfortable to watch. I've been on the receiving end of that. It's even more uncomfortable to go through. But that's why the community, so take advantage of it. I wouldn't be best friends with those guys, many of them, outside of this community. But I've learned that this is way more valuable than any friend that I wrestled with or did drugs with or played music with or went to school with. Those friendships were superficial and empty. These friendships, I'm looking for commonalities and let's like the same music and that kind of stuff. That's not what that is, actually. That's just me looking for another version of myself. That's actually not... How many has had a friend that we just got along so well, we had so much in common, and then later as you matured and you had your own independent ambitions in life as a mature individual, that your friendship fell apart? Why would your best friend of yours not like you getting a man and falling in love or following your passion or getting interested in this if you were really friends? Because you weren't friends. You were just sharing the same space and some of the same interests. Mm-hmm. That's not the substance of friendship, actually. Right. So, you were saying something when I was saying about shifting schedule or something. Sometimes so the domino effect, if I shift my schedule, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like I noticed that for me this entire week where like I fell off my workouts because I found myself constantly like, okay, I need to make lunch, I need to take the dog out, I need to, with working more hours, I need to get rest, like, and I need to do this for self-care, spend time with a friend, talk on the phone. And I found, like, I was just curious because then, like, today I was like, no, like, I'm not going grocery shopping. I'm doing my workout. Like, I'm just not sacrificing my workout. One more day, like, I'll find a way to go grocery shopping tomorrow. And so I just find that I was going through some of these similar processes of surrender and then, I guess I don't know what my question is.
Yes, I would say that spending time on the phone is unethical if you don't do your duty. Those other things, okay, you got to walk your dog, mismanagement of time. All right, so you got to get sharper on that. But spending time on the phone and not taking...
What if you have, like, no social life, so that's, like, your only ability to...
Welcome to my life.
Okay.
Grow up.
Yeah.
What do you need a social life for?
Well, I'm just saying, like,
You need God.
Yeah.
You don't need a social life interacting with godless whores.
No, I mean, I was talking to my great aunt.
Okay, that's not a friend. You said spending time with a friend.
No, spending time on a phone.
Did anybody else hear friend?
I don't know if I said friend, but...
Hello, was that a shake? You're so resistant to go against Kat. That looked like a head nod up and down very subtly. Yes, you said friend. So if you didn't mean it, I'm going off what you said, so correct yourself.
Well, like also Hannah was in town, so I did hang out with a friend. Like I did. Like I mean, sorry. Like you're right. Yeah, or a friend. Spending time with a friend sometimes. Like just not like that was incredible. It was like such a perfect day for us. But I'm just saying like to me.
You should have taken her grocery shopping if you had to do that stuff.
No, the yeah. Next time we'll do that.
Life is pressing, Hannah. I don't live on 9 to 5, take a vacation. That's my lifestyle. So people are taking vacations to escape the miserable monotony of their life. That's not my life. That's not my philosophy. Actually, just like the guys couldn't do what I do, most guys can't make a transition from 9 to 5 to entrepreneur. They'll fail, fall flat on their face. Because they're so undisciplined, they're really just looking, they think entrepreneurship is take a vacation. Work for yourself. Okay, that's enough of that. Anything else?
No, I think you're saying do your duty, be with God, and then there's things where you should that I should just know like if it's not important, and to cut it out. But like one of the biggest things for me is like rest, like just making sure that when I can't handle my emotions, that I'm not getting too much rest.
I don't get enough rest. Look at my Aura ring. I don't get enough rest.
Yeah.
But enough for what? To handle my emotions? Enough for what? What would be enough? Enough for so I'm not tired?
You never seem tired.
That's a lie. Or ignorance. I fell asleep the other day.
Yeah, that's true. You do seem tired.
What are you saying?
But overall, you have very vibrant, bright energy. Like you know, you.
I have to dim it for you, actually. Because when I have let it go, you get offended. Because it seems aggressive. I'm aggressive.
Ow.
Get over yourself.
Ow. Yeah.
So you got to become more aware of when you're feeling emotions sooner. Remember God. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Do the righteous choice. Quit trying to solve your emotions. Quit trying to solve problems. Just do what's right. If doing what's right means solving the problem, I'm not saying solve the problem. I'm saying do what's right. If having a plan is the right thing, then make a plan. But I'm not saying make a plan. I'm saying do what's right. If you can't understand those words, then you're lost. Now, women, why do women need a man? To show them what's right and wrong. You don't need my money. You don't need my dick. You don't. You don't. You need to know what's right and wrong. Otherwise, you're going to sell yourself. One way or another. Now, you may be selling yourself as a waitress. Obviously, you're beautiful. They hired you because you're beautiful, hospitable, feminine, this and that. You didn't sell yourself. I loaned you out. I hired you out. You work for me. I'm letting them hire you. You're mine. And I'm letting them hire you. You didn't sell yourself. I didn't sell you. I leased you out.
That's weird.
Why is that weird?
It's just weird.
But why is that weird? You say something blanket like that, but
Like,
you
I
gotta
don't know,
explain
it's
it.
just, I don't know. Maybe can you say it with some new language?
You
or
belong to me. I have allowed you to be hired by someone else.
That would be like this. Yeah. Is that just for me or for like how does that work? Like, is that because I pay you 10%?
If you didn't pay me 10%, you're still mine. If you're not mine, here's how I know you're mine. If I told you to quit, you'd quit.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You're mine.
Okay, that makes more understand.
If you wouldn't quit, Hannah, if you wouldn't quit, if I told you to quit, you're not mine. Wakane, if you wouldn't quit modeling or singing or jujitsu, if I told you to quit, you're not mine. I wouldn't even say that to Elo, but she just said yeah. Because she gets it.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't get it? Someone who was evil.
Yeah.
You should know that about Hannah and Wakana, that they both agreed with that.
Yeah. I believe it. Yeah.
That's more important than liking the same music, liking the same things.
And that's true, but I don't think you would ask that of them.
Okay.
It's still...
That thought is evil. Because that's going to make you have judgment about them.
Yeah. Well, I just think that's such a big thing to ask. It's like they're...
I haven't asked you to quit.
Yeah.
I have told you confront a certain situation here or there when I hear a certain negative...
Yeah, but I could be, like, working on the strip making bank. Like, I could be making...
You're right. You did some things. You could, but you wouldn't have even come to Vegas.
Yeah.
Without me.
Yeah. No, not without you. I would never...
If it wasn't for me, so...
Yeah, I'd never
you know,
go anywhere
so,
without you.
right, so you could have gotten a job on the strip. I said no, away from the strip. Okay, so you listened. They listened to whatever the degree they listen.
Yeah.
I say study surrender experiment, they study surrender experiment. I say get your diet right, she gets her diet right. She doesn't get her diet right, I say, what the fuck happened? Why did you disobey me? So I'm not losing any... Okay. Okay, so are there any questions? I went over time. Self-extina. Lucky, I don't know what you're doing, man. I really don't know what you're doing, man. Like, what the hell are you doing with your life? You see us on TikTok, you see me on Instagram, you see us moving to Vegas. What are you doing, dude? Why are you avoiding learning this stuff? How do you live with yourself? Like, how have you convinced yourself that not learning this game, how to relate with women, how to succeed? What, I don't get it. I don't get what's going on with you, man. Arsh the Unruly. Arsh, I don't even know how you have the balls to show up to my live stream. You've ignored like the last 10 text messages. Like, what's going through your head? And where are you with IMC? I don't get how guys can't make money. If I didn't do what I was doing, I could do pretty much anything here in Vegas. I could be a waiter. I could be a fucking valet. And make money. What are you doing persisting in your condition? Who around you is so great and fantastic? Girls, 99% sure it's a bitch. He's staying in his position, in his life, in his geography because of a female. That probably doesn't even like him. Because what female could like a man that's lacking so much ambition? That such a lone wolf can't be part of a team. And if he is part of a team, maybe he has a guy friend or somebody he went to school with or whatever, they're so weak in beta. I know. Prove me wrong. Like, you don't have to do it on stream right now. Call me, tell me, whatever. I know. I know the condition of men out there. You can't fool me. I've been at this too long, talked to too many guys who are players, and they're beta. Let alone guys who are trying to be players. Chris Lopez, Captain Chris, salute. Any questions? Nothing? Comments, feedback? Going once, twice.
I got a question, Chris.
Okay, let me turn up the volume. I hear you. Go ahead.
So if you're going to discontinue, I'm getting feedback, I'm sorry. If you're going to discontinue this group meeting, how do we still follow you? Or besides watching Enlightened Masculinity or...
Yeah, and Enlightened Masculinity, because I haven't even had time to stream or lecture anywhere. And
Yeah,
still
you're
I'm
running
falling
out of
behind
time.
on business.
That's what you have to prioritize, and I'm glad
I
you
know.
decided to prioritize this meeting today because you
Yes.
did kind of commit to it. So,
Kind of commit to it. You're welcome.
but you're running out of time to do
My-
all the stuff you
my-
need to do.
Thoughts are, because the main reason why I did the meeting, not this meeting, but just these meetings, is because the girls around me were not sane and not able to communicate. And if I try to teach each girl individually how to communicate, she resists it. It becomes an argument back and forth. The group dynamic, the group just the power of the group allows women to change. The same thing would happen with men. If you try to teach a man one-on-one about game, he'll argue with you. Men don't like to admit that they don't know what to do with women. But put 2 or 3 or 4 or more guys in a room, and now the guy has to face it. He doesn't know. Even if all 5 guys in the room don't know, you're teaching them, some of them will receive it better. And then the guy who gets butthurt has to face that guy didn't get butthurt. And so then they all change and benefit from that. So the main reason I started doing even the yoga classes, the yoga, because I know that the yoga practice will help you mechanically, physically make yourself be more peaceful. Now bringing in God element, you will have physical agitation if you don't stretch and do care for your body. If you're just worshiping God and that, like, you may have peace, but physically, I mean, it's agitating. You know, so you always have a little splinter in your tension. But there's plenty of yoga videos out there that I've put out that you'd learn my yoga. Until I invent something new, then maybe I'll be motivated to do that again. So the lectures, the purpose of that was to teach all the girls. Now, I may not have time for that, so I could see myself just making, as I get motivated or inspired, like I did the other day with the reading out loud thing, just making short videos that offer techniques, maybe not a community environment as much, not a lot of dialogue back and forth, but at least you could get some things about the process that would help you, I think would help you. And that's probably the evolution of this. Lucky, I live in Sweden. I wish I had a team. Well, we have guys in Sweden. I don't know why you're not in IMC Nation. If you don't learn the communication skills, I don't know how you plan on building a team around you. And I don't know why you live in Sweden. That's one of the worst places in the world to be a man. Why are you laughing for? What do you know about that?
Nothing. I know nothing. It's just so, like, that's just one
Sweden is one of the worst. You know what would be worse would be China and Japan.
I just think that's funny.
Why is it funny?
I don't know.
You don't know why it's funny?
I don't.
That's
like,
the demon then laughing.
I guess I think it's funny because, like, it just, I would feel weak if, I guess it just.
He is weak.
Yeah.
He is weak. He's weak and he's in a weak country for men. And he knows it. And every guy should know that in Sweden, the women are hoes. All of them. Everywhere they're hoes. But the women are so, quote, empowered, they don't need any man. It's a socialist country. Socialism kills masculinity. Why is Sweden mad? Because it's socialist. It kills masculinity. You can't get ahead. So you don't reap the benefits of being a champion. And if you don't get benefits from being a champion, then why would you fight to be a champion? And if you don't fight to be a champion, everyone's equal. They're pussies. Guys in Sweden are pussies. I've never met a guy from Sweden who's not a pussy.
Yeah.
The closest you'll get are some of the Olympic wrestlers and the MMA fighters that come out of there. And the most manly of them are Muslim. They don't even consider themselves Swedish. They just are geographically located in Sweden. But they're just as miserable with women. They don't know how to interact with women. They're just tough. Which is great. Lucky's laughing, by the way.
Who's like?
The guy it says true.
Well, I
That's
was
the guy
just
from
gonna
Sweden.
Say that could you also tell everybody they could also stay in touch with you through your new app that's gonna be launched, and it's gonna have your.
Yeah, it's not like a
yoga on
huge
it.
audience on right now, but yes, the app. What's the app called?
Well, it's your app, your playbook app, of your yoga.
How do they find it?
I'll send everybody links, and there'll be like there'll be a link.
If you guys are interested in the yoga programs that I've put out, it's very cheap now. It's like $15 a month or something.
Yes.
You get access to a ton of videos. And you'll get access to other people on the app too, because it's a big app that has like other trainers of different, physical disciplines, yoga, qigong, lifting, calisthenics, all that stuff. But you get access to a ton of my videos. It's only $15 a month, and I make just a fraction of that. But that's what we're putting out there. So just DM me, and if you're on YouTube, and you don't have my DM, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Just watching all my stuff. I have it all out there. My Instagram link, Instagram PhD Yogi Chris, PhD Yogi Chris. Or email me yogichris@ninthlimb.com, number 9. How can I find the other members in Sweden? Join IMC Nation. I'm not just trying to connect guys that are in IMC Nation to guys that don't see the value in learning from IMC Nation. You're too weak. You don't have a common philosophy to study. But if you want to sign up, to the basic members program that I myself have paid every month for the last 9 years, without question, because that's just monthly dues. Why would you not? Then I'll put you in touch with Anton, with David, with Tor. Those are the guys that are top of mind that are in Sweden. All right. So there's that. Thank you everybody for attending. Hopefully you got something out of it. Jay Gurudev, praise the Lord.